I'm Tom Leuther, and it's my beautiful wife, Vicki, and we're from Columbia, Missouri, and we pastor Family Worship Center. Well, we went through some challenges, as all ministries do, and Brother Copeland had given a word right at the peak of that challenge in our particular lives, and we didn't want to give up, we didn't want to quit, but there was a lot of things that were really difficult for us and the ministry at that particular time, and then Brother Copeland gave a word, and my wife went onto the website to look up the prophetic words that Brother Copeland gave, and it was, for the household of faith, everything's going to be all right. And we would say that day in and day out, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. We would say it together. When one would get down or discouraged, the other one would say, hey, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. And there was more to it than there's no man, no devil, and no government stop God's plan for your life. But that's the segment of that word that we added to everything's going to be all right.
You know when you're in challenges that you need something of substance to hold on to stand when when finances are falling apart, when you are if you're a pastor and you have churches and the people are leaving left and right, when lies are being told, when the enemy is coming against you. And that's the voice of the enemy that is constant coming against people. And if you don't have something in the Word to stand on, something in the Word that gives you hope, something in the Word that gives you courage, and if you don't use it and do warfare with it, then you're in trouble. And that was a decision that we had to make. And there were times our mind was overwhelmed just with what is going on. Sometimes it even felt like, do we even want to go to church today? I'm just being honest, there were just days like that, Sundays, can they send somebody else in there besides us? But we took the word of faith, we took what God was saying to us, we took that everything's gonna be all right. And that is one thing strong that we learned from Brother Copeland, how to stand in the midst of the storm. When the storm is breaking and when you feel like you're breaking apart and you feel like you're losing everything, then you have to hold on to that word. No matter what you think, no matter what the mind says, no matter what's going on around you, you got to hold on to that word.
Our congregation says that. You hear it all the time, and when I get to that point in a message and I start saying it, they all say it back. It's more than a confession. It's becoming a manifestation of speaking God's word. And, it didn't turn around the next day, it didn't turn around the next week, it didn't turn around hardly the next year, but it turned around because we were a partner with Brother Copeland, and we knew that he prayed for us, and we knew that he prayed the blessing of the Lord to be upon us.
And I just encourage anybody that's listening, I encourage you, if you don't have a word from God, that Bible is open 24/7, that you can go to it, you can get a word, you can look at some of these prophecies that Brother Copeland has given, you can go to them, and in that 2010 prophecy when he said, everything is going to be all right. One thing he said, things are going to get worse, and they're going to get worse, and they're going to get worse, and they're going to get worse. And we're going to have to know that we live in the household of faith, and we're going to have to know how to stand and believe God and trust Him that everything is going to be all right.